Hey all, this is just a really quick, off-the-cuff, completely unscripted rant that I kind of wanted to go on. Not too long ago, I posted a video that I'm just really burned out dealing with irrational, stupid people. And I run into these people all the time, every second of every day, and I spend a huge amount of my free time just staring at dumb people and the crap that they believe and the stupid shit that they push. And then I go through and I try to refute it, or I try to argue against it, and I'm burned out. I really am, because there's only so much of that crap you can shove into your brain before your brain starts to shut down. And so I made this video where I said, geez guys, give me some other ideas, give me some other suggestions where I can go and not have to deal with this for a little bit of time, because holy crap. So I did that, and I love that you listen. I do. I'm very happy that I've gotten a lot of suggestions, and that's great. Of course, a lot of the suggestions that I've gotten have been, hey, look at this crazy fucking wingnut over here. Go look at them. The whole idea is not to look at wingnuts, all right? The whole idea is to get away from the insane. And that's really, I love the suggestions. I appreciate them. I've added them to my list. Trust me, I will get to them sooner or later, probably later than sooner, but I will do my best. But I want to get away from doing that. I need to detox my brain from all of the irrational, crazy bullshit that I've had running through it for close to, well, overall for probably a couple of decades. But on YouTube and on VidMe, I've been doing this for about 2 years, or YouTube for 2 years and VidMe for less time than that. So that was really what I was kind of looking at. And, I've gotten a couple of ideas here and there, and it's cool, and I might get around and do some other stuff. But as I was saying, the crazy people are driving me nuts. And that's kind of a funny way to put that, but that's true. And the problem I have with these people, as I was thinking about it, is that these are people who, a lot of them at least, there are crazy people who just don't know they're crazy. They're up in their heads, there's something not happening, and they're just simply unaware of how completely irrational and stupid they're being. And then you get the people, and this is particularly true of religion, but not only religion, but particularly true of religion, you get the people who know they're crazy. They know they're completely irrational. They know that everything that's going on in their brain and their religious beliefs is completely wackadoodle, and they don't care. And if you talk to these people, and I talk to them all the time, they will go, well, it doesn't really matter. It makes me happy. I don't really care if what I believe is true. It makes me feel good, so I'm going to keep believing whether it's true or not. And I'm going to keep telling you that what I believe is true, because my telling you that what I believe is true is comforting. It makes me feel good. And that's just how people operate. Not rational people, it isn't. Sorry, that's not how rational people operate. Now, as I've said in other videos, I understand that that's not the way the world works. That's not the way a lot of people operate. They should, but I understand that's not how they do. A lot of humanity is just terminally fucked in the head. I got it. I understand that. I know I'm fighting an uphill and ultimately losing battle against crazy people and crazy beliefs and people who just don't give a damn. That said, I'm not going to stop the battle, because it's an important battle. In fact, I think it is the one most important battle that anyone can fight. The fight against irrationality. The fight against stupid. And stupid is predominant in humanity, and that's kind of a sad thing. And I don't really know what to do about it, but hey, I can do my little part, and hopefully I will spur other people to take a look at the stupidity that goes on around them. And I don't know. Maybe if enough people say enough is enough people say this cannot continue, enough people say we have got to do something about it, we might hit some kind of a tipping point, and maybe, just maybe, the world might start to change. And of course, in the US and in Europe and most of the first world, for religion, this is starting to happen. And this is a wonderful thing, because for hundreds and thousands of years, religion has been predominant. It has been the single defining factor of society. That's not happening anymore. According to, if you look at Europe, this has been going on for much longer, where the vast majority of people are not religious, or who define religion as being very unimportant in their lives. And in the US, 20 years ago, you couldn't say that. You really couldn't. The vast majority of people were staunchly religious. Today, not so much. And that's a good thing. According to recent Pew research polls that I've seen, I think the number was 22% of people who they either identify as atheist, agnostic, or not part of any religion, that religion is not at all important in their lives, that they don't believe in any gods, anything like that. Wonderful. This goes up every time Pew does a poll, because people are just getting sick of this religious horse shit, because we actually have enough scientific backing where all the things that people used to go, oh, it has to be God. They don't have to say that anymore, because God did it is no longer the only explanation that people have. People can say, well, we have other options now. We have things with actual scientific objective evidence behind it. Let's go there. And I think that's a wonderful thing. I think that's a fantastic thing. So let's keep that up. But we need to expand it beyond just religion, because religion is dying. It's kicking and screaming all the way out. It doesn't want to go away, but it's dying whether it likes it or not. And I think within the next couple of decades, religiosity in the US is going to be a minority of people. Right now, I think it's like mid to upper 70s in the percentages of people who still profess to be actively religious. That's going to go down to under 50%, not too long. I don't think that's even a question. It's just how fast they're going to die, and it's accelerating at an increasing rate. That's fantastic. I love that. Now, we need to make this go to other things. Politics is a huge problem. And if you sit down and you look at the crazy religious people, the people who go, I don't care if it's right or wrong, it makes me feel good. And then you look at the regressive left, you got the same people. Maybe not the same people, but you have the same mindset. You have the same people who are going, I just don't give a damn. I don't care. I care if I feel good. And if I got to believe a bunch of horse shit to feel good, that's completely fine with me. That's the next place that we have to go. Funny enough, the most recent generation, the newest millennials, they're the most conservative out there since World War II. They've watched their parents grow up through the 60s, through the 70s, through the 80s, being these obnoxious liberal assholes. And they've gone, holy shit, you are fucking up the planet. We are not going there. And that's a great thing. It's a wonderful thing to sit down and watch these people decide they're going to change the world. And these are people who are very politically active. These are people who are very active on social media. These are people who are not quiet. They are not afraid to get out there and talk and do their thing. Wonderful, wonderful thing. I heartily support these people. All right, I really do. And of course, most of them are not religious, which is a double benefit. Bonus. So I definitely support that. But we have to go farther. And that's why I've kind of questioned a bunch of other things, not as much as religion and politics, because let's be honest, religion and politics are the big two. They are. They're the hugest things out there, the biggest problems. And while I've gone out there and I've gone after flat earthers and libertarians and, some of those people, and they're worth going after because they're nuts. But how many flat earthers do you run into on your average day? Not a whole lot unless you go looking for them. How many libertarians, especially the crazy libertarians, the people who out there think that there's these bizarre natural rights that are just floating in the ether that nobody comes up with, that are just there? How many of those do you run into on a daily basis? Again, unless you go out and look for them. Not a whole lot. I don't think. I mean, I certainly don't. And, I can only report for myself. So those people I don't go after as much unless I find some really obvious and really ridiculous examples of, yeah, okay, somebody has to say something about the stupidity. And I don't like looking at them either. I really don't. Because for the same reason that the religious and the political drives me nuts, the craziness in any form drives me crazy. I don't want to live in a world of insane, irrational, stupid people. I do. Probably always will, but given my druthers, I'd rather not do that. And let's be honest, it's really frustrating. When you go through your entire life just going, these people are nuts. These people are nuts. These people are nuts. And they're in control. These people are nuts and they're in control and they have power and they have influence. And holy shit, are they fucking this planet up? What do we do about it? Well, there's not really a whole lot we can do. And, that's kind of the impetus for what I do is it's my small step and what little I can do to look at the world around me and say, you people are all a bunch of fucking idiots. And I can point it out. And nobody listens. I mean, let's be honest. We all know nobody listens. And I think that's kind of sad. Actually, I think that's really sad. I think that's really, really sad. That nobody listens, nobody cares, nobody pays any attention of any kind whatsoever. But I gotta say something. I really do. I really can't just sit back and say, I'm going to pretend that nothing I'm doing makes any difference, that the world is just going to go right down the shitter, and hey, it's just another day, and I'm just going to go through my day like nothing's wrong. Because things are wrong. Things are really, really wrong. And somebody has to say something. And there are people out there who do. But a lot of people out there that I watch, that I interact with, they will pay attention. Okay, here we are going to look at the anti-SJWs, the anti-feminists, that crowd. And that crowd usually doesn't talk a lot about religion. And then you got the people over here who talk about religion. And they usually don't talk about the left. Mostly because a lot of them are on the political left, and I think they have their own insanities to deal with. And then you'll have your people who go after, their own particular little bugaboo crazy people that they like to engage with. I think it's all a problem. I think that it's all an issue that we all need to handle. Because the problem isn't just religion. It's not just politics. It's not just crazy people on the street corner who believe in aliens and whatever. The problem is irrationality. The problem is people who don't know how to look at the world in an intellectual, rational, objectively evidence-based way and say, here's what's true. Here is the best evidence that we have points to this conclusion. So we're going to go with this conclusion until something better comes along. And I think that's a big problem that more people don't do that. And unfortunately, because I do that, I end up pissing off all these disparate little groups. Because, like I was saying, the people who are going after religion, they have the political insanity. And a lot of the people who are going after the political insanity, they have the religious insanity. They don't want to hear somebody who's criticizing both. And I wish they did. Because they're picking and choosing what to apply rationality and evidence and critical thinking to. And I don't think you can do that. You have to go after everything. Everything has to be evaluated rationally. Everything has to be evaluated critically. You have to say evidence matters, not just for this over here or this over there, but for everything. Everything. And if you don't have evidence to support a conclusion, you should not hold that conclusion. And that's one thing that It's an argument that I have with the religious all the time, and I'm sure it would apply to everybody. I'm sure it would apply to everybody. But it comes up mostly on the religious side, where I will say, you should not believe unless you have evidence. You should not hold a belief. You should not form a belief. You should not believe that something is so unless you have evidence that it's so. You should reject claims until you have sufficient reason to think that those claims are true. And without exception, they go, nope, I'm going to believe it. Like, that's a good thing to do. What the hell's wrong with you people? Seriously, what is wrong with you people? And like I said, this probably goes for everybody. I'm sure it does. Everybody who holds an irrational belief, I'm sure every single one of them says, well, it makes me feel good, therefore I'm going to believe. Well, fuck you. Really, fuck you. You're being an idiot. You really are. You have no rational justification for believing the things you believe because you have no evidence that the things you believe are true. And apparently, you don't care. What's wrong with you? Really, what's wrong with you? So anyway, like I said, I just wanted to kind of throw this out here. It's completely off the cuff. I'm just recording straight and we'll kind of do this. I get really tired of it. I get really tired of day after day after day after day after day just staring endlessly at stupid. And I know I could just walk away and say, I'm done. I've done my bit for king and country and I'm just not going to do it anymore. I'm going to take a vacation and I'm going to go off. But the stupid doesn't stop. I think in that last video I said I had 51, 52, something like that. Things that I still had to get to. That I had in my queue, that I hadn't gotten to yet, that I planned to get to. And since then I've probably added another 20. Because every single day I come across more videos, more ideas, more news articles, whatever, that I just have to look at and go, you can't be that dumb. You just can't be that dumb. There's no way in the world you can be as dumb as you are. I don't understand how these people continue to breathe on their own because obviously their brains have taken a vacation and gone off to Maui and left them alone because these people believe things that nobody with any kind of rational sense could possibly believe. I wish somebody could explain it to me because I honestly don't get it. So anyway, this has gone on for a very long time and I'm just kind of rambling on. So that's kind of where I'm at with this whole burnout thing. It's probably not going to last long. And I've gotten burned out many, many times in the past. It happens, and usually in a week or two, it's like, okay, I'm done. I got to get back in the grind. Or I will find some story or some video or something that is just so utterly egregious that it just pisses me off to such a degree that it's like, all right, vacation over. Here we go again. So that might happen. Could happen tomorrow. I don't know. But like I said, I've got such a backlog going on of not only stuff that I've gotten finished, and that's just absurd. I could take an 11-week vacation and nobody would ever know. Plus all the things that I want to get to, and the list never gets shorter. The list only gets longer. It never, ever, ever gets shorter. And even though I've been on this quote-unquote pseudo vacation, which I'm not really taking, but even though I've kind of been trying to take it easy, I've added 4 or 5 things to the list today. Today. It happens every day. So anybody who has any other ideas, send it to me, especially if you have something. And this is really what the question was that I was asking. I know I'm just rambling around saying nothing important. But the question I was asking was kind of, okay, if I want to take a little break, and not talk about crazy, stupid, obnoxious religion, politics, etc. If I just want to do something completely different, but I don't want to have everybody unsubscribe from me and just go, hey, he's not talking about that anymore, or we're going someplace else. What was something that everybody wanted to see? haven't gotten a lot of those suggestions. And that's kind of what I was looking for. But, you do your best. And frankly, it won't matter because I got such a backlog. I could take a month off, 2 months off. Wouldn't matter. I'm not going to run out of things that I've already got done to get uploaded. Or I'm certainly never going to stop making videos because I actually enjoy this. Yes, I am that insane. I actually enjoy doing this. Not necessarily watching and interacting with the insanity, but I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy pointing out the dumb. I enjoy interacting with people who, like myself, enjoy making fun of the dumb and pointing out exactly why these people are wrong. Not like I think anything's ever going to change. So anyway, I'm going to stop here. I appreciate everybody wasting their time with me on this crazy little rant. And I will see you all soon. Thank you all and stay rational. God, I can't be the only one out there, can I? Adios.
Everything changes.